Wow, why is that my most recent reaction when it comes to Zebec? I'll explain why, but I first want to clarify how nothing I say is financial advice. This is purely my perspective, and I am not telling anyone to do anything. But Zebec recently made an announcement regarding Base. And let's take a look at this real quick, right? They say how their card and product suite now supports Base. Base, of course, being Coinbase's layer 2. And of course, Coinbase is very massive. It's on the S&P 500, and not to mention, of course, it's publicly listed. But let's not forget, when it comes to the concept of a layer 2, there's a lot out there. But when I take a look at Base, what I think kind of sets it apart is that, again, it literally is Coinbase's layer 2. The thing is this. If we take a look at the concept of a layer 2 in this case, I'm just going to kind of explain it in a simple way, I suppose. Now, again, a layer 2 in this case kind of allows Ethereum to be enjoyed, but then at the same time, not necessarily having to deal with some of the quote-unquote nonsense that some people may refer to it as. Like, for instance, in the case of the sky-high gas fees and the arguable scalability issues, again, Ethereum being a very popular layer 1 blockchain, of course, it would kind of not be such a good thing, right? If there's no way to enjoy it without having to deal with some of the nonsense I mentioned before. So again, that's where kind of a layer 2 steps in. Now, of course, there's many layer 2s out there. Like for instance, in the case of Optimism, there's Arbitrum. Again, there's a bunch out there. And actually, funnily enough, the Base network was built in collaboration with Optimism. Again, it's basically Coinbase and Optimism, and then, they had a collaboration together. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a background right there. But at the same time, again, I think it's only natural for me to have wow as my reaction to this, because I think this could, if anything, only hypothetically increase the attention when it comes to Zebec, because of course, Base is just way more popular than Zebec. Now, Base does not have its own quote-unquote token, though. To my understanding, the last time I checked, they were kind of exploring the idea of it, but it doesn't have one as of right now. But at the same time, I just think it's pretty cool nonetheless that I did see this. And at the end of the day, again, even despite Base not having its quote-unquote own token, it's still just way more popular than Zebec. So if anything, I think this is actually a pretty positive thing in regard to what Zebec has been up to so far. Now, if I take a look at it as well, they kind of continue this post by saying how coming soon, they're going to be talking about something regarding payroll built for on-chain use. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, we'll wait and see when it comes to that, but when it comes to Zebec, it seems like they're planning for things already moving forward. They've already done this. Now they're already planning for things again moving forward. This is kind of what I like about Zebec so far. They keep trying to improve, which again, I do like seeing that because, okay, we're starting to see a very slight recovery overall when it comes to the space, but it's really nothing that major as of right now. But at the same time, still seeing Zebec kind of, I think, ignore the market in a good way, right? I'm not saying it's in a bad way. Like, I think it's actually in a positive way where despite the market not doing the best, they're still continuing to build. So I think that's pretty positive at the end of the day. It seems like they're not really affected by the market sentiment in a way where it may demotivate them to not do anything. It does not seem to be the case as of right now in terms of what I'm seeing. So I do like seeing that when it comes to Zebec. Not to mention, it's not like a lot of people out there were asking Zebec to do more things or something like that. A lot of people already think they've done a lot of things already in terms of their partnerships in the past, in terms of kind of the things they announced. A lot of people thought that was already pretty cool. Like, for instance, by many standards, Zebec has already kind of exceeded Onyx, which is its closest competitor, as of late in terms of the activity in regard to the updates and stuff like that. A lot of people would already consider it to be that way as of right now. It doesn't mean that Onyx is bad. I don't think so, because I'm still a fan when it comes to Onyx, by the way. But at the same time, Zebec has been kind of stepping up their game as of late. Onyx, I mean, they did launch their layer 1 blockchain in terms of the mainnet. That was pretty impressive. But when I take a look at what Zebec has been doing so far, again, it's just been a little bit more frequent than Onyx. So I think that's pretty impressive. And again, especially considering that it's not like a lot of people were asking Zebec to do more, but they're still doing it anyways. So again, 2 thumbs up for me. I think that is pretty impressive and pretty commendable at that. And I think maybe it's a testament to what the team has been up to so far. And also, let's take into consideration, when it comes to, let's say in the case of Zebec, they're still planning for things to be announced. I'm not joking, by the way. Take a look at Simon. I made a video on this not too long ago, right? Simon, the CEO of Zebec, was talking about how he was going to be announcing a quote-unquote major announcement, which he's going to be talking about in that Las Vegas conference, right? In regard to the XRP Las Vegas conference. So when I take a look at that right there, that conference is going to go on from April 30th to May 1st, allegedly. So they've already announced this thing in regard to Base, which again is Coinbase's layer 2. This is not even considering what Simon is going to be announcing later on. So they're already doing all this. I think it's pretty impressive in terms of a fundamental standpoint of view. Is it doing the best in terms of price? No. It hasn't really recovered that much actually, but at the same time, I still find it very impressive what they're doing so far. Now, in the meantime, though, in the past week, ZBCN has actually been down around 0.85%, so almost 1%. Not really much of a major difference, actually. But in the past month, recovery has been almost 30%. Not that bad, but again, still down by quite a significant amount compared to its peak in 2025. But really, when I take a look at when I first started holding ZBCN well over a year ago at below 100 million market cap, I never expected Zebec to do all of this. Sure, I was a fan of it even back then, which was actually a lot harder for me to be a fan of Zebec back then because there was really nothing much going on for it, fundamentally speaking. But again, even back then, when it had a market cap of below 100 million, at that time, I didn't think Zebec was going to do all of this. Like, for instance, the Stellar partnership, what they did with Algorand and all that, ISO 20022 in terms of compliance in regard to that. That was a lot of stuff that I didn't really expect them to do. But they've done it so far anyways, and in a pretty short amount of time. Again, I've been believing in Zebec for over a year at this point, and when it comes to that, in over a year, like almost 2 years basically, they've done quite a lot fundamentally speaking. So I'm pretty impressed when it comes to that. But as of right now, all I can do is just really observe all this type of stuff. I can't really do anything else. But I am waiting. I'm still staying patient. But regardless, when I'm observing all this type of stuff, I just find it pretty impressive that Zebec is still doing all of this. Again, I wasn't necessarily complaining when it comes to Zebec initially when I did hold it. But seeing the strides it's been making up until right now, wow, that's just my reaction. And again, it's another wow reaction seeing what they did recently when it comes to Base. But I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward, so hopefully y'all stay tuned for that. I want to say thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a very nice day.